This isn't exactly paranormal, but it's weird. My friend's dad was telling me this last night when he was drunk. I thought he was full of shit until other people verified it today. His name is Zeke, and I'll tell it how he told it. Zeke's an older fella. But in his younger days he knew a guy named Sean. Sean's dad was a paratrooper, and a complete nutcase. He used to wait until the last possible moment before releasing his parachute, then make a hard landing and instantly take off running with the momentum of the fall. Parachuted into the stadium where the Cleveland Browns play one day, on a lark. He kept a long-ass knife on him at all times. It was as big as a machete, but looked like a Bowie knife. He might have killed a dude too, nobody's sure. Anyway, his son is Sean, an equally crazy motherfucker. One day Sean calls Zeke. "Hey man, I got a wolf, but I can't keep it. Do you want it?" "What the fuck?" "Sure man. I guess." Sean picks Zeke up and drives him over to his house. There, chained up to a big tree in the backyard is the biggest fucking wolf Zeke's ever laid his eyes on. Sean says, "Be careful, he don't like nobody but me, but we can get him used to you." Zeke says, "Nah, man. Go on and get out of here. This is between me and him." Zeke is fucking crazy too, by the way. "All right man, it's your funeral. I'm heading to Cliff's for some beers. If the wolf don't kill you, come on by after and we'll get fucked up." Sean hops on his Harley and drives off. Zeke's got a six-pack with him and he pops one open, holds it out towards the wolf. The giant beast is eyeing him. Zeke thinks it's sizing him up. He names him Bear, right then and there. "Hey there, Bear." He walks over calmly. He gets within striking distance, but Bear stays put. There's an empty water bowl in front of him, and Zeke pours half his beer out into it. Takes a swig for himself. Starts talking to the giant wolf. "From now on, it's me and you Bear. How'd you feel about that?" Bear sniffs the beer, watching Zeke. Starts slapping it up. Seems to like it. "You're gonna come home with me, Bear. And you, me, and my girls are gonna be a family." Zeke borrows Sean's truck, the one they rode in on, and drives home. Bear rides in the bed of the truck and hops out when they get to the house. Zeke and Bear walk to the backyard together. It's getting near sundown by this point. Zeke says, "I ain't gonna tie you up like Sean. Not at night. You need to be free. But when morning comes, you need to be right here." Zeke makes an emphatic pointing motion down at the dirt. "Right here, by morning. You understand?" Bear saunters off near the tree line and looks back at Zeke, who points at the ground again. "By morning." Bear runs off. Zeke drives over to Cliff's and he and Sean get trip-roaring drunk. In the morning, he wakes up to a loud scream. What the hell? It's his daughter, Lacey. "Dad. There's a wolf in the backyard." Zeke looks out the window. "I'll be damned." He listened. Lacey is almost in tears. She went outside and found one of her kittens eaten. Her cat had a litter of 7, but she was nowhere to be found. Zeke says, "Go on out there and tie Bear to the tree." Lacey looks at him like he's crazy. "He'll eat me, Dad." "Go on and tie him up." Lacey knows better than to argue with Zeke. She walks outside and Zeke yells, "This is my daughter, Bear. She's gonna tie you up. And tonight, we'll let you run off again." I asked Lacey about this after I heard this story, and the look in her eyes was pure terror. She was obviously still traumatized by it. When I asked her, her eyes went wide, and she got a faraway look in her eyes. All she would say was, "I was the one who tied him to the tree. It was me that did it." Zeke and Bear are inseparable. When Zeke goes out in the woods, Bear trots alongside him. When he sits on the front porch, Bear is there right next to him, scanning the tree line. When Zeke was a boy he'd seen something he couldn't explain coming out of the woods. He said it must have been Bigfoot because it looked like a big hairy man. He was out chopping wood when he smelled a pungent odor and looked up to see it standing 50 feet away, watching him. Total paralyzing fear. Then the Bigfoot walks off. Zeke bolts inside and tells his parents, but they won't believe him. They never believed him about anything. They always used to call him a little liar. To this day, he will flip his shit if you suggest he's not telling the truth about something. Needless to say, he feels good about having a wolf with him when he's out in the woods. But one day Zeke is staying at a friend's cabin. I'll call this friend Tyler. Bear goes with Zeke and mainly hangs around outside. One morning, there's a gunshot, and Zeke runs out. Bear is lying on the ground near the cabin, and someone in the woods is watching them. It's Tyler. Tyler laughs and says, "I guess that's the end of Bear." Then he says, "And you better get out of here soon, or I'll put a bullet right through you too." Zeke is heartbroken. He wants to stay with Bear, but Tyler's got the gun pointed at him. He walks miles and miles before he gets home, crying the whole way. He was a wild animal, he told me. I couldn't forget that. It's not like I ever had much control over him, and I knew there wasn't no way I could keep him very long. Zeke never gets choked up, but I heard him stutter and he coughed like he was about to cry. That was my bear. I miss him. So yeah, not paranormal. But a weird tall tale maybe? I found it pretty bizarre. It was much longer than I intended for it to be. Sorry for dragging on.